guys, and welcome back to the Skins in the Game. J-Dubs is back after a little hiatus. One, because he came up to visit for my sister's graduation, and then back-to-back weeks because it's my fault. We bought a house, and we had a walkthrough to do and work late and stuff like that. But we are back with Skins in the Game.
Tim has finally let me out of the closet. Not that closet, but the closet.
Yeah. Poor choice of words there.
No, I said that by design, but no, it's good to be back. Had a great visit. Watched your youngest sister graduate college, the last one in my book, but what a great time.
Well, you never know. Kenny may go back to school.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, so
supposedly.
He may graduate. My brother's in the military, so he's been doing that since right out of high school. So he may go on the GI Bill. So you may have another graduate. Who knows?
I know. Hey, he's got a plan. I was very glad to hear that, and wish him nothing but the best, along with all of my kids. But Sancheezy's feeling good about this year.
Feeling good. What up, Yuki? I hear that JW is coming out the closet. Yeah. What up, Lee? Noah, it sucks to hear what happened. I know that does suck. That I heard about that too, and that's very unfortunate. Armani Rogers tore his Achilles. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first off, we're gonna start how we do every Skins of the Game with the dad joke of the week.
Why should you never brush your teeth with your left hand?
Because it just ain't right.
No, because the toothbrush works much better.
Fair enough.
Hey, I got a laugh out of it. That's good.
I liked my answer, too. I thought that was good. I just made that up on the spot.
No, that was kind of good, too.
All right. Thoughts on the NBA? We actually will talk a little NBA at the end of the show. That'll be one of the last things before Weddle. But we have some ownership stuff because we haven't gotten J-Dub's stuff on that one. We also do a little bit of the schedule with J-Dubs, and then we'll talk Washington OTAs, the news coming out of there, and then NBA Finals. But, Dad, it is official. Dan Snyder and Tanya Snyder put out a release saying they've agreed to sell the team to the Harris Group. I don't know exactly how much. It's something between like $5.5 and $6 billion, I think. Making the money for Daniel Snyder. How do you feel?
Words cannot describe how I feel.
Yeah.
Hey, and look, the ownership has not. I'm not thinking they won't, but until the ownership says this is a done deal, I still feel like the other shoe's going to drop, and it's like, oh, no, they're going to be back one more year. But I really don't care what happens from this point forward. We're just done with Dan Snyder.
Yep.
Everything else is good.
Completely agree that, it's so nice to have that press release and it's put out. And then they had owners meetings this month, and Dan and Tanya did not go. Jason Wright, the team president, and I think 2 lawyers showed up to represent the Commanders. And we'll take a little time before they actually get into office per se, or into the team's facilities to actually start making decisions as new owners, as they vet everybody a part of the group. There's like 14 people a part of the group, I believe, so they have to go through all that rigmarole to make sure that they're not, letting in another Dan Snyder into this league. So they're actually doing their due diligence this time. But,
well, I will say this. I'm interested to see how much Magic Johnson has a say in anything that goes on. Is he in the front office with them or not? That's what I'm interested in, because I think he's got a really good eye for talent.
I hope so. I hope he has, because he's won everywhere he's gone. So you know what? Even if he doesn't do anything, just bring us your luck. Bring us the magic.
That's right.
Literally for him. But all right, once they get in there, what is the first thing you want to see? Do you want to see a new rebrand? Do you want to see a new stadium? What are we thinking?
By the way, Robert, what's up? It's good to be back. Um, I would love to see a rebrand, but I don't think it's going to happen. Um, I know there's a bunch of people that are like, bring the Redskins name back. Well, we all know that's not going to
Yeah.
happen. I would love to see the Red Hogs or something with red in the name. I don't know that that's our first priority, but I would love to see it, but I'm
Yeah.
not convinced it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm all for the Red Wolves. But I would be cool with Red Hogs too. Because, yeah, I do want to bring the R back. I'm with you because HTTR needs to come back. I don't like seeing this HTTC or HTTFT for the football team or anything like that. Yeah, I want the HTTR back. That was important to me. So, and obviously Hogs has that history. It would really bring in the older fan base and even some newer guys. I mean, there was a relatively younger dude that no way he was really a part of the Hogs, I don't think, that I saw on Twitter that he's like now taking up the mantle as one of the Hogs, the Hog Farmers, I think he calls himself. So that's pretty cool.
Hog farmer. I like that.
Yeah. Did you hear about Brian Davis, the other guy that was trying to buy the team? Apparently, he's now suing the bank that he was trying to go through for like $500 billion or something stupid.
Oh, is this the guy that had a lot of money and didn't have a lot of money, and then yeah, I got it. No, I don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can have $1 million for you, or $1 billion rather, for you tomorrow, and $6 billion for you by the end of the week. That's what he said.
I wouldn't sweat him much. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't. That's just hilarious. I don't think he's suing the league or anything. I think he's suing the bank for whatever reason. I don't know, but whatever. Not our problem. We got new ownership.
It's fun to think about, though, or fun to talk about because it's really hilarious. Well, do you have the money? Well, hold on. I don't really have the money.
Yeah, they asked him directly on the radio. Like, do you have this? Do you actually have a net worth over $1 billion? Yes. Wait, whoa. You're worth a. Well, I have people that have the money. It's like, yeah, you're a fast talker. Just says whatever comes. Yeah, no, not interested at all in Brian Davis.
I'm thinking he's just trying to keep himself relevant, right? He's just trying to keep him. They say any press is good press, even if it's bad press. So
keep your name involved somehow.
Yes.
All right, so the schedule was released a couple of weeks ago. As I said, you didn't get to talk about it. Is there any games, I'm pulling it up now, any games that excite you? We got the Cardinals at home on week 1. Cardinals will not have their quarterback Kyler Murray, so that's good for us. So we should come out of that 1-0. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what do you mean by excite me? Like, I'm excited to watch?
Well, we do play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So
that'll be fun in Haymarket. I assume you're going to be there.
Yes, I should be. I don't think there's any reason. I don't know, actually, because of the game. I don't know. We'll see. I may need to find a way to call that game, but.
So let me ask you this: how's Buffalo's health? Because I know Buffalo got decimated last year. Is everybody good at this point?
They should be strong again. They're projected as one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the league. So, yeah, they should be strong. Denver is getting a new head coach, so in theory they should be better. Hopefully for their sake, Russell Wilson is better, but for our sake, hopefully it takes him a few weeks to get involved. Right. But that defense is still very strong. Then we have the Eagles. We know all about the Eagles, Super Bowl participants. But, there's most teams that lose the Super Bowl have some sort of hangover.
Yep.
And getting them early in the season, maybe we can get them on their hangover. I don't know. Then we have the Bears, a rematch on Thursday night. We did this exactly last year, Week 5, Thursday night football, Chicago Bears. That was that ugly game that ended right where they tried to throw it into the end zone in the last second. We knocked it away. So we got a rematch there. Then we're going to the Falcons. Falcons are a young offense with a lot of potential. Then you have the New York Giants. We lost to them. Well, lost to them once, tied them the other time. Can we finally beat Jones? That's on a Sunday. Then we have the Eagles again at home. Then the Patriots. and Seattle back-to-back home game or away games rather. We have 9 away games and 8 home games. So
I assume later on in the year we'll do the predictions of win-loss.
yeah, we'll go through it.
Okay.
That'll be fun. One of these days. But yeah, just I wanted to see if there's any just games that or any other thoughts you had on the schedule and or any games that intrigued you.
Well, I'd like to see how we can stand up to Philly because last year, one game, we pretty much kicked their butts.
Yep.
So I'm curious about Philly, and I'm curious about Buffalo to see if we, get our butts kicked by them. None of the other games are, I feel like, out of the first 6, Philly and Buffalo are the only 2 I feel like I'm really curious because I think the other ones, the other 4, I think we can beat them. So it'll be interesting to see how we fare against Buffalo and Philly.
Yeah, in the first 6 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, if we come out with a 4-2 record, I'd feel pretty good about that.
You're right.
I don't have us at a 4-2 record, but I would feel good about that.
But I'm thinking too, if we can play them without getting blown out, I think that says something too. Of course, you know what Doc Walker says. Oh yeah, there's no such thing as a
almost win
or what's the not almost what there's a term he has and it's gonna pop in my head, but It's like there's no such thing as a good loss or there's a term for that where you can walk away with that loss like, oh, I feel good about it. So
it's true. I get the sentiment. I don't remember the phrase either. That Adam Rank had us 4-13. Ouch. That would be shocking. I don't have us having a good record, but 4 wins in a Ron Rivera led team seems low. It's like he doesn't really go high or low.
Yeah, I don't buy 4-13. I mean, I'm not selling we're going to be 10. I've heard 10-7 or 11-6. I'm not saying I buy that
victories.
either.
There's no moral victories.
That's it. Thank you.
No moral victories. That is it. Appreciate it. I like your thumbnail or your profile pic. It's Terry mossing Stephon Gilmore. I love that. I have the Commanders going to the playoffs with a 7-9-1 record. We're gonna make the playoffs with 7-9-1. I guess that's not impossible.
Playoffs.
That's pretty unlikely. Probably.
You're talking about playoffs? It was.
Yeah, Jim Mora.
Yeah.
Jim Mora. Yeah.
All
right. Washington OTAs this week. The optional or the voluntary workouts, the optional training, whatever. However, what is the it's basically the optional
training activity.
Yeah, there it is.
That's the OTA.
There you go. I couldn't think of that last word for some reason. But do we care that Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Charles Leno did not attend? This is constantly every year we have to say who gives a crap. But is there any reason to care this time?
Well, I'll say this. First of all, I have a problem with the whole fact that they call it optional training activity. Because now you got the media jumping in going, oh, well, this guy didn't show up or that guy didn't show up. I don't care about Montez Sweat or Charles Leno. I do care about Chase Young because he's a captain. He doesn't have to be there. First of all, again, understand, I would love the team to say, or no, it's organized training activity. It's not optional. Thank you.
Organized. Okay.
Yes. But why Chase Young has got to know as a captain of the team that people are going to be all over him. And couldn't he just show up? I know he's training and he's doing his own thing. I just feel like, again, as a captain of the team, couldn't you just show up even to get the photo op and then tell the team, hey, I'm here to support you, but I'm going to go back and do my thing. I just think there's a message there that I don't like.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So Robert wanted me to read this chat. Reasons for Chase Young not being at OTAs: year 2, brand opportunities; year 3, injury; year 4, just a no-show. Not the action of a second overall pick. Team captain. Your thoughts? So I understand the sentiment of like, yeah, you would like him there, but in the scheme of things, does it matter? Absolutely not. We're not winning the Super Bowl. We're winning the week 1, the first or second day of, organized training activities, OTAs. We're not. And it's completely fine. Like, other players understand this. It's a business. This is not, and it's optional. This is a voluntary situation. So it's not like the other players are going to have animosity because these guys aren't there. Everybody knows they're going to work. They're working out with their guys at other facilities, doing other things and other opportunities on the off season. Nobody comes away with this with like animosity towards Chase. It's not like they're going to get there the day 1 of real training camp. Chase Young shows up and everybody's going to like be ostracizing him. Like, you're not my captain. You're not really a captain of this team. Like,
No, I get that.
It's fine. Now, is there? It is good for team building and relationship building, and it's good for those situations. So I would rather him there than not. But it's not something that I'm like, oh, great, now Chase Young's not going to play well week 1.
No. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's in the overall scheme of things, it doesn't matter. But Chase Young has got to know that his name is front and center. And when he doesn't show up, it's going to be a story.
Right.
So why can't you just take a plane ride, be there for the day, maybe not show up the second day, but to be there. And again, I agree. It's not on the whole scale of, what's going to happen for the rest of the year. It's like, why can't you just show up?
Yeah. Well, here's another good example to your ends here. Cameron Curl, another one of the leaders of the defense, the leader in the secondary, really, between him and Kendall Fuller. Cameron Curl's our best player in the back 7, bar none, not a question. He is in a contract situation right now. He wants a contract extension, and they've talked about potentially doing that. What is he doing? He shows up to OTAs, and then he participates in the individual workouts, the individual drills, and then sits out the team drills. So he's doing a stand-in rather than a stand-out, or what's the right term? A hold-in.
Or a sit-out. Or a stand-in instead of a sit-out.
Or something like that, or instead of a holdout. Instead of a holdout. That's what I meant. Like a hold-in instead of a holdout. He's going to be with the team, building that camaraderie, and that also comes with his dad was his coach for a long time. Like his dad understands this. Like, hey, I don't care what's going on with your money. You got to show up and be there with your team. You could sit out and like make your voice heard that, hey, this needs to be taken care of before week 1, but you got to be there with your team and show up, root them on, and be a part of team activities. Instead,
and by the way,
yeah.
No, I was just going to say, and by the way, don't think for a second that Chase Young isn't thinking they're not exercising my 5th-year option, so he's taking a shot. He wants to be on the front page.
Yeah.
I just think that's not a coincidence.
Yeah, but I don't remember. I think Deron Payne last year when we didn't extend him, like we paid his 5th year, but on his 5th year we didn't extend him. I'm pretty sure he was there during OTAs last season. So yeah, it's a different mindset, a different personality.
Well, but I get it, but Chase Young hasn't played a game in how many weeks?
Well, he did finish the season, but he missed like the first 14 weeks of the season. So
yeah.
I think he played like the last 3 games.
Deron Payne's dedication is not in question. A lot of people I've read, Chase Young a lot of people are saying he's a bust. I'm not saying I agree with that, but why is it that you have to put your name in the headlines by just not freaking showing up?
Yeah.
Don't do anything. Sit there on the sideline.
Yeah.
Just be there, spitting out of your afro.
His dreads. Yeah.
Dreads, yeah.
In every in curl interview, every sentence had, "You know what I'm saying." Yeah, some people just aren't public speakers. All right. I remember when my first episode I did on this channel, everything was like or
Yeah.
whatever the next horrible thing was. I wasn't projecting my voice at all. I was
Yeah.
just talking
Or
very
you say,
quietly.
or you say, a lot,
Oh yeah, and ums all over the place. It's horrible, and it's you got to train yourself out of those speaking problems or speaking impediments or whatever you want to call them. You really have to work on it. I literally had to drive down the road and say, tell myself stories, and don't say and throughout the
Yep.
story out loud. Just a story that you know, and a pause is much better than an or an up.
Yes.
Way better. So anyway,
Agreed. 100%.
yeah, Cam Curl definitely does not interview well. I remember he was on Rio Robinson's channel, another YouTuber here, and he was very hard to get things out of. Rio, I thought, did a great job of keeping that interview going, but yeah, it was a tough interview for Mr. Rio Robinson, but I thought he did a good job. I've been
By the
saying
way,
for years he
yeah.
was a bust, yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
a lot of people
I'm not,
believe it.
and you might be right. I'm not willing to make that assessment yet, but why can't you just show up and not be in the headlines? You know what you've been going through.
Yeah.
Just show up and Chase Young's there. Okay, what's the next story?
Yeah, not more interesting one. The other one that you could have an argument with is Charles Leno not showing up the left tackle because it's a new offense, new blocking scheme, some new players that are going to be a part of that starting line, right? Like Sadiq Charles is right now the starting left guard. He was not the starting left guard last year. I think he played right guard when he was in, which is going to be the guy that's right next to Leno. It would be nice to get some early work in. But again, and Montez Sweat also did not show up, the other defensive end. Again, he's another guy in a contract season.
I just go back again to why does the NFL set it up this way?
No.
Be here.
Yeah.
That's what,
nice.
why is it that teams are told to make this an optional activity? It's like, no, we're paying you a lot of money. We're having this be here.
Yeah,
and
why
then,
is it optional? That's a good point.
Right.
Why even make it optional? No, you know what? This is team activities because it's only a couple weeks, I think. Yeah, you're getting paid millions of dollars. You can't show up for a couple weeks and practice with your team real quick? Yeah.
Or even not practice with them. Just show up and talk to them. Just be there. True. So I think this is Monday morning water cooler fodder where it's like, oh, they didn't have to be there. So now we get to banter back and forth. It's like, no, you belong to an NFL team. When they have an organized activity, you're required to be there. And if you're not, then there's a problem. There's a breach of contract. But for some reason, the NFL thinks it's a good idea to say, oh, well, let's make it optional. So we have, ESPN and CBS Sports and all them can talk about, oh, they weren't there. They didn't have to be, but they weren't there. I think it is fodder for the fan base.
Fair enough. Any news on the 6'7" tackle? Forgot his name. I haven't heard anything, good or bad, since he's gotten signed. We signed one of the XFL tackles to a contract, and he's a monstrous human being, like 6'7", 340 or something like that. And that would be awesome if he could get some play. He just had experience all through that XFL, and he you would think he'd be able to hit the ground running here in OTAs. Haven't heard anything good or bad, but yeah, if he could take over that left tackle spot, that would be unbelievable massive, but I don't have any ideas. Are you going to any games or training camp? It's too early to say right now. I would like to. I would like to go to training camp at least a day, and then I would also like to go to those joint practices, or at least one of the joint practices with the Ravens. Did you hear that we're doing a joint practice with the Ravens over there in Owings Mills, I think it is?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. And when I always go back to the Patriots when Bill Belichick said we're leaving because this is a joke. Remember that?
When they were here.
When they did the combination practice and Bill Belichick said I'm taking my team out of here because this is not good for my team.
Yeah, your boy's getting Defender season tickets. I thought you already had season tickets. You were there like every game. I guess you just paid for your tickets individually. That's cool. Are we the only team who has an ex-players at head coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is that an uncommon occurrence? It might be way more uncommon than we give credit for.
That's a really good question. Never thought about it.
You might be right. As far as like an ex-NFL player. And I guess I don't know. I would venture to say no, we're probably not. But at the same time, I don't know off the top of my head. That's not a bad question. Interesting. What's up, Dave? I would have to look into that.
By the way, Dave, go do a Google search and see if you can find it.
Yeah, I did individual tickets. Gotcha. Hey, y'all, wrong spot. Tim should be on the left. Oh, yeah, thanks. I switched it because of when we go to the screen, it's better for you to be on top because you want to be on top. But yeah, you're right. I should be on the left.
I'm not even commenting on that.
Awesome. Not to mention our team president is a former player. Yeah, our team president's also a former player. That's a good point, too. We have a lot of former players in here. And Martin Mayhew played for us, too, didn't he? So we also have a GM who's a former player.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Never thought about it. So
yeah, to me, it seems Jim Irsay had a vendetta against Washington. Oh, did you hear about that situation? It was dropped,
I did not.
But apparently there was rumors that we talked to Andrew Luck last offseason.
Oh, yes, I did read this.
And Jim Irsay was tearing into us because we were breaking the rules. But Andrew Luck's team came out and said nobody ever contacted them, and apparently those accusations have been dropped.
I did read that.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Hey, guys, don't want the summer to go by fast. I can't wait for the season. Yeah, it's a fine line. It's like, yeah, can we get to the football season? But that means summer has passed. That's very true. By the way, the new name incoming, the trademark was denied. I don't know if that's real or not. You never know what's on Twitter these days. Like, anybody could say, because it was some weird Twitter account that initially put that out. I don't know how true that is or isn't.
And what was the trademark denied?
The Commanders. The Washington Commanders. Apparently the trademark was denied. Seems kind of odd why it wasn't trademarked earlier than now, but apparently somebody else was trying to do it first or something. I don't know exactly how it works. But, I mean, I'm all for a rebrand, but we'll see. There we go. That's better. Thanks, guys. Yeah, no worries. Emmanuel Forbes is better than Christian Gonzalez. You know how I feel about that? I feel about that by your name. Ha 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 ha. Yep, Redskins man. Do you think that Taylor Heinicke plays the season at all? Only due to injury. I think that Ritter should have a pretty decent season. They've got him some weapons. I don't know if they'll be great, but I doubt that Taylor Heinicke comes in outside of injury. A lot of people forget EB plays a role in our defense as well. He is our assistant head coach. Oh, yeah, he's the assistant head coach to the team, not just a offensive coordinator. I don't think he has that much to do with our defense, though. I think that's more Jack's situation. But speaking of Eric Bieniemy, he's bringing a ton of energy at practice. And apparently it's been very upbeat and high pace right now at OTAs. And there was apparently one time the offense was moving out of the huddle a little slow, and he dropped an F-bomb saying, hurry up. And then after that, they were They were on it every single play after that. The Sam Howell has also been reported everywhere. Everyone's channel said this yesterday. The word was sharp.
Yes.
Sam
Hold
Howell
on a
looks
second.
sharp.
Hold on a second. I want to know, Robert, why do you direct that question to me? He didn't ask you. I'm just saying.
Should they change beer affiliation? Should they go to what do you drink? Heineken?
I drink
Heineken Light?
I drink no, I do not drink.
Well, you don't drink Heineken Light. Sorry. But I was just thinking like they could sell Heineken Light instead of Bud Light.
Well, again, I'm not responding to it. I just thought it was funny that he pointed that to me, not you. Not that I'm saying it,
Oh, it's because he's closer to age with you. He vibes with you, Dad. He vibes with you. See, okay. Look at you. You were coming out of the closet earlier. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
By the way, for the record, I do not drink. I've never drank Bud Light. Will never drink Bud Light. And I'll just leave it.
Yeah, you never did drink Bud Light. That was never your beer anyway.
I'm not boycotting anybody. I just don't drink light beer. Look, you can tell.
Yeah, you rarely drink Bud. I guess you drink Bud Heavy at the games, right? Because that's what they had.
No. I drink. They have Stella.
Do they have Stella? Okay.
Yeah, and then they have a couple IPAs. There's a Devil something or
Yeah.
I like IPA. I like beer with a full flavor, so I never drink light beer. So, but I'm not engaging in the whole conversation. So yes, move on to Sam being sharp.
Yes, Sam's apparently looking sharp, according to Zach Selby. Are you taking any stock in Sam Howell looking sharp in 3 days of OTAs?
No, I actually, and I'm so sorry. I can't find my window that a guy.
Sorry, you broke up right when you said
that. And I cannot find. Sorry, I cannot. I pulled up the story I read earlier today.
Yeah.
That this guy that knows football compared him to Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner, huh?
And I'm just saying, but I can't find the win. Technology is great, but no, he said he's very similar to Kurt Warner, so he's basically saying, look out for him. He could, he
has all the potential in the world. There was a guy, I think Mike Martz is a guy that's also made a video on Sam Howell and talked about what they see in him and why he thinks that he's really somebody to look out for. Basically, live arm. It seems like he's astute when you watch the film. Like, he was saying things like, it looks like he's doing what he's taught in practice. But the one thing that he didn't do at college, which is relatively common, is being able to actually read the defense of what's going on and react to what the defense is giving you instead of just predetermining where you're going to go with the football. Things like that. So But I'm excited about Sam Howell, and I'm glad he's looked sharp, and I think that he has all the potential, and I hope EB proves me wrong, because I'm definitely a skeptic that he's this great offensive mind and great offensive coordinator. He's obviously bringing energy. He does come from a great school in Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And I hope he becomes his own man and really steps up for our sake and for his sake too. It's just, I'm not... Obviously, I'm cautiously optimistic right now, and that's all you can be after 3 days of training camp. It's not a who cares right now at this point. We're not winning the first game in the 3rd day of training camp.
Yeah, well, all I will say is Andy Reid's track record is he has not let people go in hopes of furthering their career.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out for us. Andy Reid, we're going for strike 3 at least, right? We could probably find some more, but we have the Donovan McNabb situation, you have the Alex Smith situation, and now we have the EB. That's a great point. I wish I brought that up yesterday to Louis. That's funny too. But yeah, it's when Andy Reid hands us somebody, That's supposed to
He's
be
not.
good, supposed to be
Yeah,
really something.
he's not helping Eric Bieniemy further his career. He's dishing crap to someone. That's my tendency. Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, it was Mike Martz, the forefather of the greatest show on earth. Was that? I don't know.
Oh, it might have been Mike Martz that compared Sam Howell to Kurt Warner. Maybe that's what he's saying, or not. I don't know.
Oh, maybe Mike Martz did say that. Okay, fair enough. Oh yeah, how about the new kickoff rule? Apparently, the NFL has implemented a new kickoff rule. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, but what changed? I thought it was always the 25. If you did a fair
No,
catch in
the
the end.
point is that you could fair catch it anywhere inside the
Oh,
20.
in play. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so
I missed that.
exactly. So they're basically trying to eliminate the kickoff at this point. You know, because now everything's a touchback. That you can't make them run. It's kind of weird. Why not just eliminate the kickoff then? Why even bother with the kickoff if you could just fair
25.
catch? Yeah, just start it at the 25.
Well, because there's teams that have guys that can blow it out to the 50 or.
Or are we going to see
touchdown.
more squib kicks now? So you can't fair catch it.
That's a good question.
So more squib kicks more consistently. Maybe it'll bring a new dynamic. That could be a little interesting. It's dangerous to squib kick it because if it bounces out of bounds before somebody touches it,
That's at the
screwed.
45.
Yeah, exactly. 40 or 45, yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, that could be a problem. But yeah, I like what the XFL does a lot more. They kick it from the normal spot, but it has to get past the 20. And then everybody stands at about the 30, I think it is. Both offense and defense. And then they're not allowed to run until the guy catches the ball. So they stand still. And as soon as the guy catches the ball, then you go. But at least it makes it a play. It makes it a legit play at that point.
Yeah, but I have to ask the question.
Yeah.
How many?
I see you.
Sorry. How many times in the history of football has someone been seriously injured on a kickoff return? I'm of the belief they should go back to it's a live ball. You have to cover it. If you're in the end zone, that's fine. But if you let the ball go in the end zone, the other team jumps on it. When has there ever been a serious injury on a kickoff return? Punt, maybe. Kickoff, never seen it.
So back in the day, it wasn't necessarily like an injury that you could see per se, as in like the crazy leg injuries or a broken arm, but the collisions that were on, because Cooley's talked about this on Cooley and Cab, or back when he was on the show, that it was ridiculous when they put their hands together and just ran full speed with a 50-yard head start and just boom, like everybody's trying to get rid of the concussion based. Like these huge collisions with unbelievable head starts cannot be good for head injuries.
Okay, so you can't wrap your arms. You can't play with you have to be your own guy out there.
Yeah.
And look, guys are going to protect themselves. And again, I know it's never going to go back, so I might as well stop because it's a moot point.
Yeah.
But it's like, no. Okay, well, when the big ass guys locked their arms and ran up, and now you had a freight train running up to take people out. Well, who in their right mind is going to run into that? Well, apparently there's guys that are stupid enough to do
it was their job. They had to hold their gap. You gotta stop it somehow, right? Because otherwise the runner's just going to run right behind them, and it's just going to open up like the Red Sea. So you got to. It was somebody's job to have to blow that up, right? And then
all right, so stop the locking the arms. I get
also, that. There's another part of even if you don't lock your arms, right? You just have a guy. because I played this spot on Kickoff every once in a while. I didn't play. I wasn't a full-time starter at it. But basically, you are standing at the 15-yard line or the 20-yard line. And my job is basically I have to stand there and let you run full speed and do what you will. Right? Like, it's kind of putting that spot. But anyway, they just want to stop the big collisions. That's why I kind of like the XFL rule, because it doesn't take it away as a play. It's still a play that something could happen, an explosive play, because it happened in the XFL championship game where I believe it was after a bad kickoff or something, and they ended up getting a big return and getting it to like the 45 or 50-yard line. So it's still a play that could be explosive, but you take away those huge, crazy collisions that they had that like is just absurd. It's still you have to block. It makes it an easier block as well, theoretically, because now you have a guy just straight in front of you instead of a guy running full speed. And I don't hate it, but right now, the new rule just takes it away completely, and I don't like that. It basically eliminates the kickoff. Unless you squib it.
I get what you're saying. You're right. But I just don't recall in all my growing up where there was someone that was laid out on a kickoff return.
Right.
And maybe they're saying, the long-term effects. Oh, I get that.
Yeah, the constant collisions, stuff like that. I don't know. Either way, what else do we see from... Oh, wait. Somebody asked about the Matt Araiza. We don't need a punter. That's the problem. So Matt Araiza was the Buffalo punter that they drafted, I believe, last year. And, like, right before the season, he was accused of really awful things. Like, I don't even want to say it. It was bad. It's just not worth even exactly saying it. But, yeah, it's really bad things. And apparently all of that was dropped, and it was not true. How, like, that's so bad to be accused of what he was accused of, and to then now come out, it's like, oh, never mind, you weren't actually a part of that problem at all. And he lost a lot of money because he got cut. Like, he lost an big opportunity. But if I would definitely go after him, except for the fact we don't need a punter. We already have Tress Way. That's the problem. But if a team needs a punter,
I guess he can't kick field goals.
Well, he's a punter. He's. Oh, wait,
I know.
As far as can we bring him in to kick field goals? Yeah, because the guy is a monster leg. I think he broke the NCAA for hang time by a punt or something.
I'd like to think you can teach a guy how to kick field goals
if he has that kind of a leg.
Monster leg. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a different beast though, because you have to have a whole different mindset too, because it's all mental at that point. But anyway, unfortunately we don't need the Matt Araiza, but yeah, it was bad. All right. Yes, Armani Rogers. We can talk about this now since we're on the OTA still. Armani Rogers tears his ACL. Not ACL, sorry. Tears his Achilles.
Ow.
And he's going to be out for the season. And that really hurts because that he was my only guy that in the tight end room that I liked, that had any potential in my opinion. I think we have the worst tight end room in the league. I really do. In the entire league, our tight end room, I believe, is the worst.
Well, I can't argue with you.
Hence why I wanted to draft Michael Mayer.
Here we go.
Hold on. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
He held it in. Guys, he held it in to this point, and he finally had to let it go.
Speaking of number one picks, Emmanuel Forbes. Your first-round pick wasn't even a starter on week one of OTA, or the day one of OTAs. We drafted a backup in the first round, Dad. That's what we did. The starting corners were Emmanuel Forbes. Not Emmanuel Forbes. Kendall Fuller and Benjamin St. Juste. Guess who started before Forbes? Our second-round pick, Quan Martin, was in there as a safety. Yeah, so frustrating.
Commander's Wire gives that pick an A-.
What pick?
Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, the A- my buns. It's a D- pick. Terrible pick, but whatever. We're not going to rehash the Pats.
So he had
right now.
14. He had 14 interceptions in 3 seasons, including 6 returned for touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He's a ball hawk. He has long arm speed and is willing. Hold on. Is willing tackler despite his size. He has a chance to be an excellent player. He'll need to understand the risk versus reward of every situation. Just saying.
All right, I'm going to read you a list. Tell me when you recognize a name, okay? Tell me when you recognize a name.
All right, here we go.
Marcus Fugua.
Nope.
DeCorian Patterson.
Nope.
Jair Brown. Verone McKinley. Derek Canteen. Brandon Joseph. Lugman Barco.
Lugman Barco. I like that name.
Mako Dotson. Hamp Cheevers. Andre Sisco. Joshua Jackson. Razul Douglas. Tavares McFadden. Shawan Lurie. Gerard Holyman. Any of those names ring a bell?
Not a one.
That's since 2014. Do you know who Anthony Harris is? Safety for the Vikings.
That sounds more. Yeah, that sounds
safety for the
more
Vikings.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was the leader in 2013. 2013 is the one you have to go back to actually a player. These are the NCAA leaders in interceptions every year. Just because you have a lot of interceptions in college, it almost has zero impact on what you have to do with the NFL.
Oh, I agree.
You don't draft a corner because of how many interceptions they have. I don't care if they can catch. They're a corner. I care about how they cover. How well can I put you, especially if you're going to be a first-round pick, can I put you in front of A.J. Brown and say, I need you to win this rep? Can I do that?
No, I get it.
It's terrible. But anyway, the last one that
I'm not
drafted,
an expert.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm not an expert. I'm looking at people that may know more than I know. I don't know. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they're just trying. Maybe they're just trying to put a positive spin on a terrible pick.
I'm in the twilight zone, Dad. The last 3-4 weeks, I've been in the twilight zone. Everybody, I'm the only one that sees this. I feel like it's ridiculous. I'm crazy.
But I did hear in the OTAs that he was making some great plays that the other guys were going on the sideline going, wow.
Yeah, he was intercepting Tim DeMorat. You ever heard of him? Yeah, he's an undrafted free agent quarterback that we just picked up. That's who he's intercepting.
I'm just saying. I'm not arguing with you.
The last time we drafted the guy that led the last time that we drafted a dude that led the interceptions was David Amerson. You remember that name? This was 2011. You're losing a little service, it looks like. Yeah. He didn't do anything for us. He was terrible. But he had 13 interceptions in one season. And everybody's drooling over that. Oh, it's so frustrating. But anyway, it is what it is. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, okay, I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Okay. Starting. All right, so
yes.
Emmanuel Forbes was not starting. But the starting O-line is interesting. So who did they bring out in the first string? So left tackle was Cornelius Lucas. He's our backup because Charles Leno is not there. So it's going to be Leno. Then we have Sadiq Charles is getting the first crack at the first string at left guard. That's going to be the biggest competition area as far as the offensive line is concerned. Starting center was Nick Gates. That's who we paid to bring in. Ricky Stromberg was second. Then we have right guard was Samuel Cosme, and right tackle was Wiley. So the only one that is a quote-unquote not surprised, but like it's interesting to see that we weren't really expecting was Sadiq Charles is right now the starting left guard, which is not bad. I like Sadiq Charles at guard. I'm excited about that. I'm excited.
It's good to hear you say something positive about
the Commanders. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's hard for you, and I get it.
It's just I got to tell you how I feel. That's the problem. I wish I wasn't so negative. I really wish I was actually more positive. I don't want to be a negative Nancy over here.
I'm glad you finally forgave me for making you a Redskins fan.
Yeah, exactly. I seen in Rio's stream that Logan is looking crisp. Good. I hope Logan's looking crisp because we need a freaking tight end. It's terrible. Anyway.
Hey, did you see that our running back combo of Robinson and Gibson ranked 12th in the league?
What?
Did you not see that?
No, that's ridiculous.
What do you think, low or high?
I think it's way too high.
I saw that.
List? I want to see that. RB combo rankings NFL? Or what did you see? Rankings NFL?
No, I said exactly that. And I see it in Facebook, so it could be.
I see top 10s, but I don't see outside the top 10.
Something that hold on.
Entering 2023. I need to see that.
Why is 10?
Consistent running back rankings. Darn it, I wanted to see that. That's interesting.
All right, we keep going. I'll see if I can find it. It was.
Oh, Tim, please, you hype up Robinson way too much to back down now. I like Robinson, but I don't think he's that good. Jersey all over the place. Winning the conference one day won't win shit the next. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jarris is very passionate, that's for sure. I wish I had the running back rankings available. It's funny, too, like how you can never... running back duos, maybe, instead of running back combos. Running back duos. Ranking running back rooms. Ranking running back rooms. NFL 2023. Do 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 do. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't see that ranking, Dad. I don't know. Whatever. What are you gonna do? Lots of.
And like I said, I saw it in Facebook. It could have been a bunch of crap.
Yeah, because that would be pretty surprising to me. Like.
Well, who at 12 out of 32? You're shocked.
A little bit, yeah. I would have to look. Running back duos or running back rooms 2023. I wish I could find just like each all the.
I can't find any right now. I'm doing a search. I can't find any combo or duo.
All right, so let's go through this. I'm just gonna go need immediate help. Interesting. Denver needs immediate help with Javonte Williams and Chase Edmonds. I actually like that combo, but okay. Salvin Ahmad and Myles Gaskin. I don't think the Miami's room is that strong, so I can rank us ahead of them. So I'd put us at best 31 or at worst 31 right now. Alvin Kamara and Eno Benjamin. And Dwayne Washington for the Saints. I mean, Alvin Kamara makes that a better room than us pretty much with anybody. Chuba Hubbard and Raheem Blackshear. Okay, we're better than them, so that's 30. Khalil Herbert and Tristan Ebner. Okay, I can buy we're ahead of them, so that's 29. The Lions do not have Swift anymore, but they just drafted Jahmyr Gibbs and they got David Montgomery. Pretty comparable. I don't know. Isaiah Pacheco and Clyde the Glide. I think we're better than them. So what does that put us? 28, I'm saying? 28 right now.
Yep.
Oh, Josh Jacobs is not under contract? Or is this just old? I think Josh Jacobs stayed in Vegas, right? If Josh Jacobs stayed in Vegas, they're better than us. New York is better than us with Barkley. Eagles are better than us with Miles Sanders and or not Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders left. DeAndre Swift. They added somebody else. Shoot. This is not an updated thing. Mother trucker. Why can't I just find an updated ranking? I don't know why it's so hard.
I know. I always find when I see stuff, and when I go back and find it, I can't.
Yeah, this stuff's not updated, but whatever. Running back rankings 2023 draft, so whatever it is. I don't know. I'd have to go through, but 12 just seems high. 12 seems high. Personally.
I actually thought it was low, but
interesting. All right. I would have to look at the rooms again, but I feel like that's high. But anyway. All right.
All right.
Well, we will be back next week with more Washington stuff. I don't want to stay too long on this, but have you watched any NBA?
I've seen highlights. I watched LeBron James get knocked out in a sweep. Loved it. And look, I'm going to say right now, anybody in this chat that questions LeBron over Michael Jordan, I don't even want to talk to you.
Oh, man. I'm not going to get into that debate.
And trust me, your friend, Coddle, loves LeBron, is convinced that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. So, please.
I know people.
Let me have it.
It's all good. But anyway. The NBA final, or the NBA has actually been kind of fun to watch. I've been watching the games. I really love watching Jokic play. And if you want to watch some finals, I would encourage you with watching Nikola Jokic. He is the most efficient basketball player I've ever watched in my life. I've ever watched. It's so smooth. He makes the best play all the time. His shooting percentage is like 65% or something like that. When he shoots like 40% from three, which is top in the league.
I get it.
He's the passes he makes. He's 7 foot, and yet he makes these unbelievable passes. He's a lot of fun to watch. I love me some Jokic. And then the Eastern Conference is getting a little interesting. So Miami was up 3-0. And then Celtics won their first game last night. Celtics are the better team on paper or throughout the season. But did you hear about what Jimmy Butler did the other night?
I did not.
It was game 2 in Boston, right? So Miami's going against Boston. Jimmy Butler plays for Miami. And they're going against Boston. Down by 12. Well, really down by 9 at this point. And then Grant Williams, a player for the Celtics, hits a three-pointer to put them up by 12. And he says something to Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler just goes like this. And then proceeds to call him out to get him ISO'd up. Starts making buckets in the fourth quarter. They come back and win.
That's Michael Jordan-esque.
Yeah, Jimmy was the man that day, and it was fun to watch that. And I watched the highlights of it. It's hilarious that Yeah, he just... And then just proceeds to absolutely destroy him in that game, rather. But the Celtics aren't out. They have finally got a win under their belt. They're going to go back home to Boston. They cannot lose another game. Otherwise, Miami will go to the finals. Nuggets already swept, as Dad mentioned. And it should be a fun series. I may even do some play-by-play on that because I'm excited to watch it. So that might be something we do on this channel. All right, I just wanted to mention that and
I might
encourage you to watch the basketball field. Yeah, because it's been a fun series. All right, who are we starting with on Weddle?
Who have we not done yet? You know what? Go back to Sam Howell because I can.
Sam Howell. All right. Oh, on Washington. Hold the phone. So we're either 23 or 24. We're
Brian Robertson.
We're 6'3".
Isn't that Brian Robertson?
No, Brian Robinson is number 8. It's above number 14.
What about Gibson? Antonio Gibson.
Is Gibson 24?
Yeah, he's been around a couple years. Maybe not.
Gibson might be 24. He is 6'2". It could be Antonio Gibson. Bang! There we go.
That was all me. You picked a player this time.
All right, we'll pick the player. I like to go random here. All right, who's this guy right here? James Cook. Oh, yeah, I know James Cook. Buffalo running back. Brothers of Dalvin Cook. Plays for the Vikings. Okay. So we got a 23-year-old, excuse me, not on offense, but in the AFC, they're small. Under 5'11". So a 23-year-old
defense.
under.
It's got to be a cornerback, right?
It's got to be. Or is there like a small kicker? Or something like that? Like, is it McPherson?
No, it
McPherson?
could be special teams.
Wait, is his name not... Hold on. What's his name? McPherson. Oh, it's Zach with an E? Okay. Oh, because it's Evan McPherson. Gosh darn it. I'm an idiot. It was the other McPherson. I was like, what? Okay. That's when I meant to true. Okay. Screw that one. Oh, but it was a corner. But I did put kicker out there just because that's who I meant to guess. So, okay. Oh, we got some more information. We're in the AFC North. It's a corner in the AFC North, not on the Bengals. So we're either the Ravens, the Steelers, or the Browns. How old is, like, Greedy Williams? He's on the Philly now? I thought he was on the Browns. Did he get traded or something? I missed it. Oops.
By the way, Righty Rennie is a favor of or a fan of you, me, and Jairus.
Oh, what's up, buddy? During the season, you and your dad and Jairus should be live together. That'd be fun. Yeah, potentially. That'd be cool. We can do some things. We'll see how this one goes. Okay. So Williams is not in the AFC anymore. Okay, so let's think. Young corners drafted recently in... It's not already Joey Porter, is it? Is Joey Porter old? He just got drafted. No, it's not Joey Porter. Okay. He is 22, though. He's almost 23. So not on the Steelers. So we're talking Browns or Ravens as a corner. Browns or Ravens as corner. Marlon Humphrey is too old. Marcus Peters. Denzel Ward is too old. Who's the other corners here? So it's got to be a second-year player, and I'm struggling to remember any of the corners. I think it's a Ravens corner. Look at the Ravens depth chart, Dad. I think it's the Ravens.
I'm
If you say
trying to
his name,
find
I
my.
may remember.
I know. I'm trying to find my what I normally have, and as usual,
LeBron will flop like he tore his ACL after he getting touched. Meanwhile, the NHL players will take a skate to the face with get 75 stitches and be back in the game by the third period. Yeah, there is too much flopping, and you know what? What's his name is not even above that. Nikola Jokic. It does suck to watch these NBA players, these premier athletes, like the best athletes on the planet, and yeah, they take a small shot somewhere. And Anthony Davis got hit in the head, and they literally wheelchaired him off the court
yeah.
to the locker room, and yet he was back the next game. Like, no, if you're getting wheelchaired because of a blow to the head, you should be out for 6 months.
No, I
Like,
agree.
clearly, you were concussed. So yeah, it's terrible.
I agree. All right, so I'm looking at
The Ravens. Who's their corner?
what about Kelly?
Kelly who?
No, it's the last name Kelly. Cry Blue Kelly. He's
No,
6'1".
look at somebody else. No, look at somebody else. That doesn't sound familiar.
Well, Lucien is 6'2". There's Corey Mayfield.
No, I don't think so.
Trayvon Mullen is 6'2", so it can't be him.
Okay.
Kayvon Seymour is 6 foot. Brandon Stevens is 6'1". Demarion Williams is 5'10".
That's it. What? Oh, it's on the Browns. Okay, we gotta go to the Browns.
All right, well, let me back the truck up.
I should be watching. They're playing right now. Talking about the Carolina, Florida, yeah. The Florida Panthers have been a very interesting team. Are they up 3-0 now?
No, I thought they were down 3-1 and came back, and now they have a chance to win. Or was that Carolina or no?
No, it
there's
was Florida,
one,
but that was the series before. I think they came back from 3-1 or 2 series ago, like the first series or something like that. But they were up 2-0 in this last series. Yep, and they won. They won again. They're up 3-0 over the Canes.
There you go.
Yeah, they were down 3-1 to the Bruins. Won 3 straight to stay alive. Then destroyed the Maple Leafs 4-1 in the series. Excuse me, and now are up 3-0 on the Canes. And the Florida Panthers were not a team that was supposed to be very good. So yeah, pretty wild.
They're the last seed, I thought. All right, I'm looking at the Browns roster. They don't have any 5'10" cornerbacks. Oh wait, Graham.
Graham?
Thomas
Who?
Graham.
There it is. I don't know anything about him.
I don't either.
Thomas Graham.
Thank God for Google, because I was able to pull that out of the...
Thomas Graham Jr. He's a 5'10", 196 corner out of Oregon. Must have been drafted last year. He didn't do anything last year. He had 5 tackles all season. And
That
1
bad?
assist. So 6 tackles all year last year. I don't think he was drafted.
Oh.
No, he was drafted. He was drafted by Chicago, though, in the 6th round of the 2021 draft. And then I guess has moved over to Cleveland now. No idea. That's a tough one. That is a hard mode if I've ever seen it. So, anyway,
Hey, I still got the first one in 2 guesses.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's 1 in a row for me.
Pretty good. Alrighty.
All right. Hey, it's great to be back. Thanks for everybody hanging out. Looking forward to the season coming up and the summer of great hopes.
Yep. All right, thanks everybody. Hit the like button, hit all that. Thanks for everybody who watched the Louis T special last night. That was fun. Got some new subscribers, so that's good. Appreciate you guys being here, and I will see you next time. And until next time, see ya!